up. Let's do this. I don't know. I slept through everything. I woke up about 25 minutes left in the Bay class. I think I managed to catch. I started watching 2 minutes after they called me out. Apparently, the bastards. Fuck blight chests. I'm not dealing with it. But if you don't know what that's about, I'm gonna watch all four of these things, and we're just gonna get our opinion on it because that's what people want. I can't do webcam because I look like one of my light bulbs went off in my room and I haven't replaced it, so my lighting is shit. But I could, but I won't, but I will.
Ancient ruins, evil grows once more.
Elephants on the door.
The seed of corruption advances, spreading dread and despair. We must give chase.
Was it smart to start with the PoE2 stuff? Maybe. Stop fucking with the mic. Come on. How's there? See? Darkness. Fuck. Fuck spiders. No. Okay, that's cool. That's gonna make me throw up.
3,000 years of dormant malevolence.
The polygons on that spin shot there. Oh. Sorry, it's still in my brain.
Put an end to this madness. If Rayclast is to survive.
I'm not really reacting, am I? It's supposed to be a reacting. Fucking sexy HP bars that don't go away when you're not hovering over the monster. Maybe not, there's none there, never mind. Taking everything back. Interesting. One sec. Where do I know that from? Oh, it's the PoE music, Jim, you idiot. I'm getting caught up on like something that's not important. I mean, no, the music's great. The music is important, right? One sec. You know that song, that TheFatRat song? Yeah? One sec. One sec. Calling you out. One sec. Wait for it, wait for it, wait. One sec. Is that not identical, right? It's the same thing, just slowed down. Autism. I'm getting caught up on like the wrong details. That was an amazing trailer, especially the part where it spun around the thing that would make me throw up, the polygons. I like this. That's satisfying. This bit, oh, it's like that, what was that, is it the Epic? The people who make Fortnite, their game engine, they did that trailer for the game developers to show up how many polygons you could render at like movie quality fidelity. That's what this looks like. Maybe not this, because it looks like a really, just like like a smaller Templar model with a bunch of stalagmites on it, but you know what I mean. Quality. Like this. I can't wait to, like, play this and then be here for like 10 seconds because you're trying to go fast, but man, it's gonna take me like a week to get through, 2 weeks to get through bloody PoE 2 campaign, just because I want to go slow and look at everything, you know?
Dormant malevolence. We must
Anyway, I'm gonna like, not rip this. What do they call it these days? I'm gonna remix this and remove the PoE music and put on the TheFatRat music, and no one will be able to tell the difference. Okay.
Act. As you saw in the trailer, Act 2 is centered around a caravan of Maraketh called the Ardura who live in the Vastiri Desert. You're chasing another caravan from an opposing tribe called the Faradun. There's a set of large ancient gates blocking the progress of the caravan through a desert pass, so you're being sent through the
Is that a
Traitor's
person?
Passage to unlock them.
We shall wait here, Jingak. But the military carts have departed for the gates. Make haste.
Quality, atmosphere,
Path of
rocks.
Exile 2 is a lot more than just new acts. We want
Make haste.
Loading, lack of loading screens. Delved, where's my minimap?
Path of Exile 2 is a lot more than just new acts.
Waypoint.
We want combat to feel both brutal and responsive, even at low levels. We're ensuring that each weapon type has unique and different
Nope. Fuck spiders.
mechanics. Each weapon class feels different to play, and today we're going to start by demonstrating the new Spear weapon class. Spears are a weapon class favoring mobility with both melee and ranged attack options. To that end, each spear will grant you at least one mobility skill. In this case, the spear comes with both an engage and disengage skill. When you engage, it increases your melee damage for a short time, and that really encourages you to be mobile during combat.
Shit, I'm gonna not remember to do, but good that it's there.
One of the skills we're using here is called Whirling Slash. When you use Whirling Slash, it creates a sandstorm that grows in size each time you use the skill. When you leave the sandstorm, it explodes, dealing damage to nearby monsters. A great way to do that is to use the Disengage skill, which makes you fly backwards and throw projectiles.
Atmosphere.
In PoE 2, each area's mini-boss is a much more substantial fight with interesting mechanics. You'll be able to find at least one mini-boss in each area of the game. One thing I love about this boss in particular is that it destroys the ceiling when it slams the ground, letting in more light. Clever players will notice that if they're standing in the light, then they're not going to have any rocks falling on their head.
Why be clever when you can have a logout
The rapid
mapper?
assault skill that we're using against this boss does 3 rapid stabs, followed by a 4th stab that deals more damage and can stun, if you're willing to commit to a long attack time. While
I've just
developing the
noticed.
skills for Path of Exile 2, we were really thinking a lot about designing skills that could be cancelled early to dodge, or you can commit to the full attack for maximum damage.
You wanna know what I just noticed? I noticed that whatever's happening on screen is reflected in your mana and your HP. Like here-ish and here-ish, like where the reflections of the light source would be. Like your screen. You see it when they do it. Look at that. Look at it. Oh, you gotta turn that off for that juicy FPS game. Just kidding. It's probably like one of these
One of the skills we're
post-processing.
using
Post-processing.
Spear Field, which creates an area of spears coming out of the ground that impale monsters who walk into them, causing them to bleed. As the monsters move towards you, they take damage, so using your mobility skills as a way to move away from them is a great strategy here.
Doesn't last forever though.
In Path of Exile 2, we've invested a lot in our animation system. I'm sure you're noticing the animations are looking a lot better than they did in PoE 1. But there's also a lot of subtle detail, like characters having different run animations depending on how fast they're moving. When we use a Quicksilver Flask here, you can see the character changes to a
thing again.
sprinting animation.
Is there walking animation? If I go really slowly. Ah, this looks awesome. Running on Vulcan, right? Get rid of that DirectX, am I right? Oh. Nah, this is running on Switch, everyone knows that.
Now that we've arrived at the Ancient Gates, we're going to show you another of the new weapon classes in Path of Exile 2, crossbows. Crossbows are special in that they grant
You
attack
should...
skills.
You've definitely seen this, right? Like, you've probably seen this before I'm showing you it, but I'm taking what is a YouTube video and then re-rendering it to be worse quality. So if you haven't watched it, watch the trailer or whatever on your own end. Like, load it up to highest quality you can. Do they have a 4K version? Because fuck me. Oh, I should totally watch that trailer again in 4K. And for me, not for you. Go watch it in 4K, because fuck, man, that looks crisp.
Implicitly. This particular crossbow grants Power Shot, which is a high damage single target attack. In order to modify what Power Shot does, you're going to need to equip Bolt skill gems, which change the type of bolts that are loaded into the crossbow. Here we've got 3 different bolt skills that the character can switch between depending on the situation.
Armor-piercing bolts.
It's War Thunder.
Incendiary bolts.
Have you played War Thunder? You get like
Frost
armor-piercing
bolts are
rounds.
used to disrupt
And when you hit a tank just right, it plays this animation like Sniper Warrior of like a shell going into the tank and then ricocheting and blowing up all different... Watch the thing.
of enemies to prevent them from closing in on your position. You can then follow up with armor-piercing bolts to do plenty of damage.
Guaranteed
In
freeze?
this area, we're helping Asala, leader of the Ardura, to open the ancient gates and let the caravan through.
Armor-piercing bolts.
Can't chain an AP round? Haha, because it pierces, right?
Gems that are added to them will modify whatever the skill is that you're using. Here
I don't know
we're
how to
going
play
add
this
multiple
game.
projectiles to our incendiary bolt.
Armor-frost bolts. Continue the assault. Incendiary bolts. Slay them all.
So can I use bolts with like Siege Ballista build?
Armor-frost bolts. Armor-piercing bolts. Armor-frost bolts. Incendiary bolts. Armor-piercing bolts. Armor-frost bolts. Incendiary bolts.
In Path of Exile 2, we're doing a lot more interesting things with monster packs. Here you can see some of the monsters patrolling around.
Armor-piercing bolts.
Like from Heist. So that, you know, they weren't patrolling, they were just like 7 meters away from someone walking through their camp massacring everyone, and they were just pretending they couldn't see you because they wanted to live, and you had to murder them with your AP round. I wonder if they're the same mobs that if you like get too close to them, they activate. Might be like a server cost saving thing, the like engagement range of monsters. Like, you reckon you can kill them? Like, assuming they're the ones in the earlier trailer, like in that room where you walk near them, they activated. Do you reckon you can't target them? Like, I know you can target pots or whatever, but pots don't fight back. Like, you reckon these are untargetable until you break them out of their little rocky enclosure? Me likey.
In Path of Exile 2,
The
we're doing a
aesthetic.
lot more interesting things with monster packs. Here you can see some of the monsters patrolling around.
Armor-piercing bolts.
Rock crabs! Anyone played RuneScape? They better have like a super high quant base on them. Fucking farm up some large clue scrolls or whatever they are called. Medium clue scrolls? Expert clue scrolls?
Armor-piercing bolts.
Dude, is there betcha anything there's gonna be a rock crab pet? Fuck yeah, a rock crab pet.
Armor-frost bolts. Armor-piercing bolts.
I'll buy a rock crab pet if they're cheaper than $15. They won't be. Why am I pausing it? I'm louder than the video.
Armor-frost bolts. Incendiary bolts. Armor-piercing bolts.
I wonder if the caravan in the background, like, whatever it was like, stop pausing it. You're like pursuing something with with the caravan as part of the quest line, right? So is the caravan in the background only moving at the speed at which you clear, or is it if you're like really proficient at leveling and you get through this really quickly, you're just gonna be sitting there for like a minute waiting for the caravan to rock up? It's probably the first one. It's a giant delve cart.
Now we're coming to another example of a Path of Exile 2 mini-boss, Brehm the Impaler.
The Impaler of Limbs. Ugh.
The boss has dropped another type of crossbow, a siege crossbow. This crossbow grants the siege cascade skill.
Fuck are those
The
rings?
skill is also modified depending on what type of bolts you're using.
Rock crabs. Right?
We tried to add a lot more little details to combat in Path of Exile 2. You might notice that the monsters who die while burning have charred corpses. We really want to make sure that there's a feeling that as you leave the battlefield, there's clear evidence of what combat took place there.
So if you use a headhunter, or your teammate uses a headhunter, you'll come past a whole bunch of corpses that don't have heads. That's a lie, and would be far too tedious to make, but... And you wouldn't notice, because he'd have an explodey chest on and there'd be no corpses anyway. Monkeys! No. People with sticks, or something. No, they really trained their entire life to be acrobats, and now they're dead. I wonder if it's actually linear as it looks. Or whether it's just like the person who's demoing it, like, knows where to go. And there's actually a fuck ton of ways you can get lost. It seems fairly linear. Like the last level of Wolson. Herp derp, compare game to Wolson. I love those giant turtles in Wolson though, they're great.
This is the Perennial King, the leader of the TheFatRat. His goal here is to prevent you from capturing the caravan at any cost.
Parental. Can't walk in a circle if the boss encounter is a square. With the chargy orb things. Weird. Lightning strike. Resist lightning? Come on, lady. You don't even know. Come on, you gotta read the mod. I don't mean the character, I mean the little NPC that's attacking with what looks like lightning damage. Looks cool though. Honestly, if I could get like a constant 30 frames in maps, I'd play on high graphics. Because the game looks cool, but... Is it gonna happen? Stable frames? Maybe. Oh, I saw that pop in. Don't point out the flaws, they're trying really hard. They are, this is amazing. Better than anything I could ever do. Wait for it. There he is, and then he's gone, and now he's animating again. Weird.
This
She.
madness has gone on long enough. The king is not the man I want. to enable him. You plan to continue your pursuit, yes? You will not catch him. Not without me.
We cannot follow through the raging sands. Let us return to the caravan.
You just gotta get like a, you gotta go kill a guy, gotta go kill a, like a chameleon and a lightning and feather, and you get through the sands. Everyone knows that.
I am Asala, the Sekima of the Ardura. I care not where you came from, nor what caste you might have been there. All that matters is that you have shown yourself capable in battle, Jingak.
What'd you call me?
Friend to the Ardura.
What's Sekma
You shall
mean?
have nothing but respect from us.
Was it Sekma Feather?
From what your
Sekma
shade
Feather,
has told
Act
us,
1?
the situation
Sekma
is dire.
Asala.
This
Asala.
Balbalic will live or die based on her usefulness in pursuit of the
Sekamaha being the last name?
Ask her what questions
Asala
you
being the
will.
first name?
Then we
Sekama, Sekama. Sekama.
You need not
Suck 'em my balls.
You will see the
Oh,
truth of my
no,
revelations soon
no.
enough. I ask nothing of you. Only that you do what you know is right.
One of the things we really wanted to do in Act 2 was to use the mobility of the caravan to allow the player to choose how they explore the act. Here you're given 4 options on how to proceed.
There is a tribe of lost men that inhabits the Mastodon Badlands.
Mastodon.
They worship the bones of those long ago beasts. And that
Sharks
faith
or elephants?
has given rise to powerful tusks that can somehow
Probably
conquer
elephants.
storms and strike enemies with lightning. The king wishes to steal these objects of worship and use their
Tusks.
lightning in war. Do what you must.
So he already has lightning resistance, and now he's stealing elephant tusks to get more lightning damage.
Do so flagrantly.
Okay.
Keep your presence light. Cleanse what corruption you can. And we shall skirmish with the Faradun to protect your flank.
Once you've picked your destination, the caravan will travel to that area and come to a stop so that you can disembark and go on your quest.
Cinematic, but what if I like want to like come back later with like a waypoint? Is the giant caravan just going to be there? Probably there's a
Because we
waypoint.
just got
Never
the
mind.
Storm Sphere skill as a
Elephant.
quest reward, now would be a
Elephant
great time
tusk.
to switch back to spears and use some ranged abilities. Storm Spear fire. Storm Spear
Sorry,
skill
one
as a
sec.
quest reward, now would be a great time.
I'm just looking at the DPS values.
Time to switch back to spears and use some ranged abilities. Storm
Ranged
Spear fires a
spears?
lightning projectile which splits on contact.
Ooh.
The other skill we're using here is called Blazing Lance. Blazing Lance creates a trail of fire from the ground, dealing damage over time. However, if you're willing to stand in place for long enough, you can throw a second spear that will fan the flames for much more damage.
Charge skills. I'm a fan of like any auto chaining hitting skill. Why does it glow? I'm just like shit at the game, so I can't make them good. Oh yeah, here you can see like the reflections on the things way better because of the lightning skill. Like over here. Yeah, it's like lighting up blue. But why did that happen? Why did all that light up? I don't get it. Like a buff for a degen or something? Yeah, look at the reflections. Whoa. Whoa. Like purely ray tracing only on the health balls?
We've just found a unique
Baubles?
spear. It's called TheFatRat's Wind. This spear has an extra modifier that synergizes really well with Storm Spear. When you
I should be listening.
We've just found a unique spear.
But I'm gonna
It's
read
called
instead.
TheFatRat's
If the last movement skill you used...
Wind.
Okay.
This spear has an extra modifier that synergizes really well with Storm Spear. When you disengage, you get 2 additional projectiles on your projectile skills.
So can I only disengage if I'm looking at an enemy and it goes backwards? Like if there's a pack of monsters where these bones are and I'm here and I want to go over here, can I look over here with my mouse, disengage to go backwards into the pack and then hit them close up with like extra projectiles? That wouldn't be worth it, but it'd be fun as fuck to play backwards. Talking like I'm not going to be playing Dancing Dervish still. Or again. I still don't know anything about Ultimatum. Like, I caught the last half an hour, like I said, of Bay Class, but they were just talking about, like, league balances or something? Like, past league balances? But someone has told me it looks like a good league for SSF, so I'm gonna, like, do a private league if you want in. Just join the Discord if you can find it, and, yeah, I'll probably do, like, 100 slots or 200 slots and do the first 3 weeks of the league. Small economy trade, etc. Bony boy. Did that say Carolina Reaper? Because that'd be hilarious. I think it said Carrion Reaper. A lot of bones. All that's in my brain is Mr. Bean telling me about marriage and something about lions. You know, Lion King, Elephant Graveyard. Sharks as well! Wait, what? What did I do? What did I do? I got excited because I saw a shark mouth head. Like, because I thought like mastodons, like the giant sharks, or the mastodons, like the giant elephants. See this? Ignore me. Death Lord of the Black Rim Pit. Cool. Gives me like Vermintide vibes. The UI is definitely like lighting up, but I can't tell why. Like just the generic UI. Like is that when you step into one of those lightning boy attacks? No. Oof. Mastodon. Oh. One sec. Next up, Ultimatum trailer. That cut off really quickly, and I hope I edited it out. Loincloth! And the bad guy from One Punch Man, the big sea urchin, sea king fella with a death's harp. Cool.
You only live once, Exile.
What is this, 2017? YOLO Exile. Exile? What? The Art of Throwing? The fuck is this? What is this crap? Warhammer? What?
You live once, Exile.
YOLO.
Make your choice.
YOLO Exile, YOLO. Ugh.
A simple ultimatum. Leave with your life and a meager reward, or risk it all for a chance at ungodly riches.
Yeah.
For
Okay.
each trial you accept, the challenge grows.
Gambling league.
But fail and leave with nothing. With nothing.
So you don't have to die to fail? DPS check, yo.
Reap the reward you deserve.
Wait. You gotta do the classic. The classic.
The reward
The classic. No, classic. Anything new in here? Bet you those maps will look different. The elder shit up the top right. The hat. Nah, I don't see anything. Then again, I am crap. Apart from that. They're the Orby Orbs that I already got spoiled for me. Yeah, so they're just reworking everything. Too much rework.
Ultimate reward requires ultimate risk. Face the ultimatum.
Only Goroshi 2.0. And he pulls it out of him.
Reward requires ultimate risk. Face
Blah.
the ultimatum.
So he's like the one tier above Hillock. Like Hillock, and there's Uber Hillock. He's got a bloody gecko on his codpiece. Look at that. I love it. I want that, except as a hat. I want it, doesn't mean I'm going to pay for it. Okay. How long is this? 20 minutes? 20 minutes left? 20 minutes left? 20 minutes on top of 32 bucks.
When some people think of the Val civilization, they think of blood sacrifices, or Queen Atziri, or lost temples in the jungle. But I think of risking
Or
your
blowing
items.
up a city.
From Val orbs through double corruption, the whole Val or no balls meme, we had to make sure that this expansion was about the concept of risking your items to get great reward. In each area of the Ultimatum League,
Ooh,
you'll
it's
meet
glowing.
the Trail Master, an emissary of a Val entity only known as Chaos. On behalf of Chaos, the Trail Master enacts trials where exiles must risk an escalating set of valuable rewards as they attempt to overcome progressively more difficult encounters. In each trial, you'll be presented with a reward, an objective, and a selection of difficulty modifiers that make the trial harder. Once you've chosen one of the modifiers, you must then complete that objective under the constraints of that modifier in order to win the promised reward.
Nice. I should have just started the video here. What are we in? 33 minutes. I'm just going to put a timestamp. Start here if you want to see the actual reaction to actual stuff. I mean, PoE 2, yes, is the thing, but like, people would want to know the reaction to the League content, I assume, not the PoE 2. Whatever. You got this far. Just 20 minutes left.
If you succeed in the challenge, the Trial Master will present you with an ultimatum. Either walk away with what you have earned so far, or risk it all to try to win additional rewards. He'll offer you another item if you can select an additional difficulty modifier and complete the challenge with both modifiers present.
Oh.
If you fail though, you'll lose both rewards and walk away with nothing.
I'm gonna see that a lot, aren't I?
If you succeed, you'll be offered an additional reward in exchange for adding yet another difficulty modifier that stacks on top of the current ones. This cycle continues until the rewards become increasingly valuable and the encounter extremely difficult. You'll have to pick a point to end your run and claim your spoils before you make the encounter too hard and lose everything.
Nah, just do it all the way.
An Ultimatum in endgame maps can sometimes have up to 10 fast trials in a row, with a special surprise in the last one. In maps, you'll occasionally find items.
Special surprise in the last one is just a flat 50-50. We're gonna delete everything or double everything.
Called inscribed
Wait, what?
Ultimatums. These items can be placed in the map device to transport you to the Trial Master's domain. Each inscribed ultimatum specifies an offering that you must bring with you, a reward you can earn, and an assortment of ultimatum difficulty.
That's what I just said.
If you're able to complete the trial, the Trial Master will reward you with a specified reward, which is usually worth around twice the value of the item you must bring.
Oh,
For example, you may be asked to risk
that was
an
quick.
exalted orb to win a stack of 2, or potentially risk a stack of 5 to win a stack of 10.
So you either die instantly and lose it immediately, or you finish it instantly and double your stuff immediately.
Naturally, inscribed ultimatums can be traded with other players.
Look at all that gear on, that's endgame shit. Oh. Double 4 nurses. Level 17, area level 79, what's that, like G10?
So if you don't feel
I
capable
don't
of
know.
completing a difficult
I'm not good at
challenge,
this game, I don't
you may
know.
be able to trade it away for a portion of the difference in price between the reward and the item that must be risked.
I can see these getting price fixed.
Likewise, if you have a powerful character, you may be able to selectively trade.
Or I can see these being like heist things in the fact that you can search for them just by name, but not by, like, you on PoTrade it'll be like, you can search for inscribed ultimatum, but you can't search for anything else, get fucked. And then someone figures out how to search for the good ones and they buy them all.
Trade for profitable ultimatums to run. There are also new unique items that can only be obtained from Ultimatum. One such unique is the Glimpse of Chaos
Can be
Valmask,
modified.
which provides powerful benefits to your maximum life, mana, and energy shield at the cost of having severely reduced elemental
Templar
resistance
gloves,
and
but
no
for your
damage
head.
resistance. The item can be corrupted multiple times and has unique corruption outcomes, such as removing a random modifier or transforming it into a different random corrupted unique helmet entirely that retains its corruption implicit mod. Another new Val unique item in Ultimatum is Mahuzottl's Machination, which grants you 6 keystone passives at once. Combining all of these keystones results in some very unusual outcomes, and the item features an entirely new unique keystone as well. We have worked hard to make sure that Ultimatum doesn't punish you for being in a party with other players. Party members compete in trials together, but have separate rewards available to them that will need to be locked in to begin the trial. Each player votes on which difficulty modifiers to select. If there's a draw in votes, the modifier will be chosen at random. If one player wants to take their reward and opt out of the next difficult trial, they're able to do so without stopping the other party members from continuing. Rewards are dropped allocated to the players who earned them.
As long as, like, if one player stops, like, the co-op downscaling then stops there, unless of course you can stay in the fight. So like your friend could stop and take his reward, and then he could keep helping you with the rest of the fight, or he could sabotage you because he hates you. Multi-boxing's still a thing.
So that's Path of Exile Ultimatum. I can tell you, on release day, a lot of our developers are looking forward to watching Twitch so we can see players risking far too much in order to try to get good rewards.
Sadistic
Speaking of rewards,
bastards.
there's a lot to talk about here. We had a look at Path of Exile's past reward systems, and we honestly feel many of them are out of date, many of them kind of lack identity, and to top it all off, like the core drop pool of just items that drop when you kill regular monsters just wasn't really compelling enough. Like, you know that feeling where any monster could drop a mirror? We want that for a whole slew of
No, I don't
different
know that
items.
feeling.
And so we made a lot of changes to Path of Exile's reward systems. There's a bunch of ones to the core drop pool to keep it really interesting. There's ones to basically every piece of League and expansion specific content. And we're going to go through all of those for quite a while now. And I should...
Does this mean we're not gonna get ancient? No, damn it. I fucked up my joke. What is it? Alchemy orbs. Alchemy orb, they nerfed the alchemy orb drop rate by adding in other drops.
mention that every change we're about to discuss not only affects the Ultimatum League, but also Standard League too. We started by reviewing which items can drop from monsters and chests in the core game. To make sure the core drop
Been
pool is
there.
compelling, we've made various changes. You can now find 2 additional currency items as core drops, Orbs of Binding from the Harbinger League, and the new Veiled Chaos Orb, which we'll reveal in more detail soon. We've also added 5 new Atlas base types, like this Energy Shield Recharge Amulet. These drop in specific regions of the Atlas of Worlds and have some powerful new implicit mods. Another topic related to the core drop pool is that of boss runs. Veteran community members will remember when people used to do Val Oversoul or Dominus runs over and over because they were a profitable use of time. Final act bosses now drop more and better items, giving you a much more satisfying close to a difficult act and a more item-focused approach to getting ready for maps if you prefer. We have also added...
So does that mean that end of act bosses only, or like if I'm running up and down Blood Aqueduct to get the Tabula, actually killing the big bird thing is now beneficial because it can drop good rares? Maybe?
A bunch of very powerful and valuable League-specific uniques into the core drop pool. This means that they can drop from any sufficiently high-level monster without you having to engage with specialized content. Examples of these are Badge of the Brotherhood, Asylum, Pledge of Hands, Maloney's Mechanism, Brutus's Lead Sprinkler, and Headhunter.
Now I'm just trying to think what the best what the best act boss is, both in time to kill quantum boss and how quick you can get there. Oh, I already got it. I know what I'm doing.
The goal of all of these changes is to make sure that every monster you kill in Path of Exile has a chance to drop something incredibly valuable, regardless
It
of
won't be
what
worth it
mode you
as
play.
just getting into maps, you know?
On top of all of that, we have added a handful of new vendor recipes, which let you make some pretty cool stuff. We really miss the days when players were scrambling to try to find unknown recipes, and so we're looking forward to seeing how long it takes for you to discover how these ones work. We have also introduced a new type of reliquary key into the core drop pool for this expansion. If you're very lucky, you can find a Vaal reliquary key from any monster or chest in Path of Exile. When consumed in the map device, it gives you access to a vault with a chest that drops a special foil version of a Vaal-themed unique item. Each unique has an equal chance of dropping. Due to the value and power
Equal
level
chance of getting
within,
fucked.
this is the rarest reliquary key ever added to Path of Exile.
Oh, that ain't gonna happen, is it, Jim?
The rest of our reward changes relate to items that you can earn by playing past content like prior leagues and expansions. We have two goals here. The first is to add and improve items so that all past content is a compelling set of rewards. The second goal is to make it so that the best way to
they
get any
segregating
reward is to
loot?
play the content that is primarily associated with that type of reward.
I gotta listen to that again.
Past content is a compelling set of rewards. The second goal is to make it so that the best way to get any reward is to play the
The best way to get, but not the only way to get.
content that is primarily associated with that type of reward.
Okay.
Path of Exile's first expansion, Sacrifice of the Vaal, introduced a new ultimate boss, Adzeri, Queen of the Vaal. This fight holds up pretty well these days, considering that it is 7 years old, but its rewards really needed a refresh. The Sacrificial Garb base type that drops from Adzeri has been significantly improved with the addition of an implicit mod that grants +1 to the level of all Vaal gems you have. Its rewards really needed a refresh. The Sacrificial Garb base type that drops from Adzeri has been significantly improved with the addition of an implicit mod that grants +1 to the level of all Vaal gems you have equipped. We have also added 2 new unique items to Adzeri's drop pool and 2 more to Uber Adzeri's.
I don't know how...
One of which is the Adzeri's Rule Judgment Staff, which prevents you from being stunned or having your damage reflected. It grants a skill that alternates between Flames of Judgment and Storm of Judgment.
Good for killing Adzeri.
As if you absorb the powers of Adzeri herself.
Increases your chance to drop mirror.
Of Ascendancy, we have made some changes to how you receive your labyrinth.
This is around about when I started playing the game properly, like consistently. It was just before Ascendancy, I think. I mean, I played in Talisman, but I skipped a couple. I think I started in Talisman, skipped a couple, and then started properly playing around about now.
Previously, when you completed the labyrinth and went to enchant an item, you couldn't see what random result you'd get. Now, the result for each type of enchantment is shown to you in advance so you can make the right choice. In the Eternal Labyrinth, you're now offered 3 different helmet enchantments to pick between, in addition to the boots and gloves. This will make it a lot easier to find enchantments relevant to the skills you're using and to apply them to appropriate items. In 3.14, we're going to stop giving out unique jewels for each day's...
Looking forward to seeing someone with like 3 really good enchants and they're only allowed 1.
Fastest labyrinth runs, and we have added these jewels as very rare drops that you might find in the labyrinth's final reward chests.
Just the last room, okay.
Another highly requested labyrinth-related improvement is that you can now consume an offering to the goddess and the map device to open portals directly to a random...
Nice. I'm just spying in the map device, one sec. Essence Breach, okay.
Related improvement is that you can now consume an offering to the goddess and the map device to open portals directly to a random trial.
Does this random trial just give you the trial at the end if you hadn't done it, or does it give you another offering so you can just loop them? So once you get one offering, you can just do offerings on loop until you get all of them.
This greatly accelerates the speed at which you can find your final trials.
Who knows?
We've also added 2 new labyrinth-specific unique items, including the Scales of Justice unique shield, which rewards building your character with a careful balance of life and mana. If used correctly, you'll be granted protection from shock and ignite, as well as additional fire damage. Kadira Perandus now has a much larger selection of unique item rewards. We have also rebalanced all sources of Perandus coins so that Perandus coins is still the best place to get them from. A craft introduced in Harvest kinda destroyed the Paranda's coin economy, so we're
Just
absolutely
kinda.
fixing that at the same time.
Fixing.
Essences have been
Balancing.
numerically rebalanced and are in general stronger than they were before.
Nerfing.
Screaming Essences can now be used to reroll rare items, in addition to their capability to upgrade items to rare.
Cool.
The 4 Corrupted Essences have had some of their less useful outcomes improved or replaced. Now, the only way to get the
Spectral
powerful
Spirits.
upgrade-only top-tier Essences is through Remnants of Corruption, which come from Essence content.
Don't know what that is.
Blessings, the currency used to upgrade Breach uniques, can now be used to upgrade Breach stones between tiers also.
Fuck yeah.
Abyss jewels have been rebalanced and are on average more powerful than they were before. We have also buffed Abyss chests to make sure that they are the best place to get Abyss jewels. We have also introduced Abyss scarabs and have added 4 new Abyss-specific unique jewels, such as Tekrod's Gaze, a murderous eye jewel that increases your main hand critical strike.
Sorry.
We have also introduced Abyss
Additional Abyss, super increased monsters, 2 additional Abysses, 1 additional Abyss, 3 additional Abyss. Okay.
scarabs and have added 4 new Abyss-specific unique jewels, such as Tekrod's Gaze, a murderous eye jewel that increases your main hand critical strike chance and your offhand critical strike multiplier based on how many murderous eye jewels you have equipped.
Okay.
Another example is the Ulaman's Gaze Searching Eye Jewel, which counts how many Searching Eye Jewels you have equipped.
Gives you
and
1
grants
but
your
for
projectiles the
minions.
chance to be able to chain when colliding with terrain, proportional to this number. These unique jewels have a chance to drop from any of the unique encounters at the end of the Abyssal Depths, and these encounters are now by far the most reliable way to obtain a Stygian Vice belt.
Okay.
We have added a
Add mod to Shaper, mod to Hunter. Okay. So specific X
handful
slams.
of new beastcrafts, such as add a mod to a map or add a mod to an influenced item, which consume existing beasts. There are some other aspects of beast crafting that we've been keeping our eye on for a while, and we're taking this opportunity to rework them, so that high-level gameplay is less reliant on obtaining certain beastcrafts. Now, when you use a splitting beastcraft recipe on an item, both copies are marked as split, which prevents them from being split again.
Both? So you can't even get... Oh. This is really good. See, this is like the Harvest changes. This only affects the endgame players, really. Oh, but Jim, if I can't buy a 60C copy of a 6 white socket astral plate, my build won't ever work. They nerfed the common players by doing this.
You cannot imprint split items.
Oh, double get shit on.
One of my favorite reward changes in this expansion is that Incursion's Temple of Atsuato can now be itemized. Once you have access to the map device, Alva can turn your completed and ready-to-run temple into a tradable object that can be consumed in the map device.
Oh, I can finally double corrupt those 100 fucking 6-link bloody legacy bloody quill. No, what are they called? The bow, the quant bow. I've forgotten. Wind rippers. Yes, yes. So I can finally. I don't have to level 100 characters and have 100 temples. Oh. This is about as close as I can get to happiness.
This means that players can specialize in either making temples to trade to other players, or trading for temples that are ready for them to run. There have also been a lot of changes to the temple.
I'm nearly crying.
Specific rooms in the Temple of Atsuato can drop unique incursion items that can be later upgraded. Many of these base unique items have been improved in this update. Previously, the temple's boss, the Omnitect, dropped random rare items with special incursion mods on them. Now it also drops rare items with incursion mods based around the themes of the rooms your temple contains. Higher tier rooms cause more rare items. Specific rooms now add specific monster packs to the temple, which results in more monster density, challenge, and reward. Temple mods have been buffed so that if your temple has more high tier rooms, then it's equivalent to a good map. We have performed a modernization pass on rewards from temple rooms so that they're competitive with rewards from newer leagues. The explosive room also contains some basic chests that can be opened with flash powder kegs if you don't need them for opening a path elsewhere in the temple. Delve has had a big increase to early rewards and a reduction to the quantity of high-tier rewards spawning at very deep depths. The end result is that Delve is a lot more rewarding for almost everyone, but a few extreme players who delve very deep will not be getting quite so rich from it.
Well, there goes my plan on delving deep.
A big problem with rewards and betrayal is that players deem it not worthwhile to kill Katarina, because it resets your betrayal syndicate board. In this expansion, we have massively increased the incentive for doing this. Now if you manage to kill Katarina, all Syndicate members drop their rewards at 1 tier higher than they previously would. This change required the introduction of a new 4th tier of reward from each Syndicate member and encourages the use of a larger variety of Syndicate targets and safe house leaders. We have improved rewards that were not as interesting or valuable as the best
Improved
ones.
rewards. Death and
In cases where we
taxes.
deemed rewards too powerful, we moved them to tier 4 rather than nerfing them. The
Oh.
tier 4 rewards are approximately twice as powerful as tier 3 ones were. We have also added a new unique item to Katarina's drop pool as further incentive for killing her. The Cane of Kulamak drops only from Katarina.
Staff
Similar
of
to
Skinny
Paradox,
Skeleton
it has
Boy.
3 veiled modifiers that must be unveiled one at a time via Jun. This means that each version of the cane could be entirely different, and because of the way the veiled modifier system works, you have the chance to get 3 mods that potentially synergize extremely well, or maybe just a crazy bag of mods that don't work together. Furthermore, the cane itself scales up the magnitudes of any unveiled modifiers on it.
That could be good.
We have made some changes to how unveiling mods works. You still get offered a choice of 3 mods, but these are now more powerful versions of the existing ones. The
Okay.
powerful ones are unveiled onto items, and the normal versions are the ones you unlock that can be crafted onto items.
Okay.
Also, progress towards unlocking crafting of veiled mods is at a slightly faster rate than before.
Okay.
Some very powerful veiled modifiers are now only available at their original strength on the unveiled version of the modifier, and the crafted version of the modifier has been lowered in power.
I have no idea what the fuck you just said.
Early-
My
Some
brain
very
turned off.
powerful veiled modifiers are now only available at their original strength on the unveiled version of the modifier, and the crafted version of the modifier has been lowered in power.
Okay. I getcha. So craft nerf, but natural unveil good? Natural unveil RNG, craft guaranteed. Okay.
Earlier in the presentation, I alluded to the new Veiled Chaos Orb as an item that
Yep.
has been added to Path of Exile's
This seems cool, but weird.
core drop pool. This new currency item rerolls the target item with new mods, like a regular Chaos Orb does,
Can I do it on, like, jewels?
but one mod is guaranteed to be a Veiled mod. While it can
Because you can pick from 3 things, so you could, like, chaos spam a jewel, chaos spam a jewel, and then get a decent jewel and then unveil it to have a chance to make it even better, or just garbage. When I saw this, I thought it was, my brain thought it was like a fracture, when someone showed it to me before I watched everything else, my brain was like, oh, that re-rolls the fracture on an item, because my brain was like, what the fuck does veil mean? Because I just ignore this content.
drop from any monster or chest in the game. By far the most effective way of getting it is from Isling and some Betrayal safe houses.
Okay.
We have introduced 3 new types of incubators for Blight, Metamorph, and Delirium, and have modernized the rewards from the other incubators.
Okay.
The item yield from chests and blighted maps is now affected by a portion of the map item's quantity, giving you a reason to roll your blighted maps if you can handle the additional challenge.
Here's the thing. See, Taki made a joke that I'd open 100 million of these things. Honestly, if he hadn't said a number so ridiculously large, I would have thought about it. But also, I thought about it just now because he said partial quant, not all the quant. So fuck that. Fuck chests. Fuck opening anything. No. Not happening. Not No. Too many other stupid, wild projects to think of. Like getting 100 corruption rooms. Or... It's just not... Nope. No.
The item yield from chests and blighted maps is now affected by a portion of the map
Portion of the map quant, not all the map quant.
item's quantity, giving you a reason to roll your blighted maps if you can handle the additional challenge.
Nope.
Anointments to blighted maps have been rebalanced and reworked so that each has its own purpose and with a consistent increase in reward as their oils get rarer. This is basically entirely buffed.
'Cause they removed that
nerf
bug.
we needed to do was already done last league.
That bug last leak. But you know the bug last leak that they fixed? You know how like the you know the oils, like they just said that the oils are now like increasingly better rewards from bladder maps. The old oils were like teal or whatever would give you 2 lucky chests, and the one above it would give you 3 lucky chests, and you wouldn't know which chests were lucky. The bug was every chest was lucky. So they fixed it. They fixed the bug of if you put oils on your maps, every fucking chest you opened was rolled twice and you got the best results. Now it's what it should be, but then that was too much of a nerf, so now they're saying that each higher tier oil is like a slightly better buff on top, I guess. Fuck making them rare though.
You can now corrupt blighted maps. These can very rarely drop the new tainted oil, which allows you to apply anointments to corrupted items.
Still not gonna make them rare.
We have also introduced blighted scarabs.
Oh, cool. I wanted this one time, but I can't remember why. What was it? Nah, can't remember. Something about blighted. No. What was it? It was trying to get specific things in specific. No, that was metamorph. You know what? Doesn't matter.
We have added 2 new types of catalysts themed around speed and critical strikes, respectively. These new catalysts are rarer than previous ones.
Damn straight.
As discussed in the recent development manifesto, the current 3.13 version of Harvest is too rewarding, so we're rebalancing its crafting and also increasing how often you'll encounter portals to the Sacred Grove.
Sounds good. One sec. I need to show you something. Let me see where if I can find it. I deleted it. Why would I delete it? Oh, here it is. Check out this comment by a guy on my like my Harvest video about you need to stop approaching everything from a perspective of making PoE your life. You have no IRL friends, that's true. No social life, that's true. No girlfriend, in brackets, fuck no. And no real hobby besides streaming. First of all, I don't even like streaming. PoE is your life, so it doesn't affect you. This is talking about Harvest changes. God, this is so good. PoE is your life, so it doesn't affect you. I repeat, literally have no life outside of PoE. This ruins the game for casuals for sure. You're a fucking moron. For you fucking no lifting losers, though it barely affects you, you will still get your crafts. I want this, like, tiling on a t-shirt, but it's so hard to get a t-shirt with good quality. I made some more t-shirts recently just to test, like, fidelity of printing. You can't get fine print on t-shirts. It's really hard. Like, to do it, I'd have to make, like, an $80 t-shirt. This is the funniest thing I've ever read in my life. What were we talking about? Oh, yeah, people being idiots. Harvest crafting changes aren't going to affect you that much. Like, with all this buffs and shit, like, come on. Ugh. Best laugh I've had all day.
The current version spams you with way too many crafts, so each seed has a chance to grant a craft now, reducing the overall number of crafts you can perform per garden, though you will encounter the grove 60% more than you did before. Some of the most powerful crafting options have been removed or changed. The heart of the grove...
I'm fine with stuff being removed or changed, but... now seeds give you a chance? Like, what's the fucking point? The only point of doing this is getting extra monsters in your maps now, and occasionally you might get something good, but you're not really going to be harvest crafting things anymore for yourself, are you?
You will encounter the grove 60% more than you did before. Some of the most powerful crafting options have been removed or changed. The Heart of the Grove encounter is now a map fragment that can randomly drop from tier 4 harvest bosses instead of rarely replacing the entire grove when it spawns. With the release of Ultimatum, Ritual will be added to the core game, with a chance to occur in each map you play. It has also been added to the Atlas passive skill tree system and is available as a Sextant mod. Unless they make things like require less... oh, this is gonna be so bad. Wait, no. Never mind. Wait. Ritual will be added to the core game, with a chance to occur in each map you play. It has also been added to the Atlas passive skill tree system and is... oh, okay, that's fine, I guess. I was gonna say, if it's like... oh, you get a mirror in your ritual. Like, back then, you got a mirror in... back in Ritual League, you get a mirror in your ritual, and it was like, oh, cool, I guess I'll see that in, like, 200, 300 maps or something. Now it's like, you get it in your ritual. You're never seeing a fucking ritual ever again, but it's in the passive tree, so... that's fine, I guess. It's available as a Sextant mod. Sextant mods too. Cool. Almost every time we release a league, we later roll it into the core game with a chance to spawn in maps. Usually 10%, sometimes 5%. When Ritual is added to the core game, we are standardizing this rate at 8%, which means a small decrease for some leagues and an increase for Harvest. We've rebalanced other things to compensate, like the rate at which Heist Rogues level up. Most Atlas passive trees have the same increase in chance for bonus content, meaning they now offer more than double the chance of encountering your preferred content. So I just spent a ton of time describing lots of buffs to Path of Exile's different reward systems, and there was one nerf that I left to last. And this because it's a nerf to a league that I kind of care about a bit. Talisman was one that I kind of led the design on, and players joke that it's my favorite league. Now, in the 3.12.3 content update, there was a change to Talismans. Basically, they weren't good enough, so the team decided to add a random anointment to them, which made them a lot more powerful, and also to juice up the mods to make them well-rolled. And that was overkill. Like, as you've seen recently, talismans have just been dropping with insane mods and great anointments. And we felt in this expansion, especially because you can use tainted oils in order to redo the anointments on talismans, because now you can modify corrupted amulets. Honestly, they don't need the well-rolled mods anymore, and so we've removed that. Talismans are still compelling, but they're not quite where they were in the last league.
I guess that's okay, because you could just still get like a filter to like check them, because they drop identified. You could still check them for like decent rolls. So you'll filter out. You'll no longer have like 60 talismans after an hour of playing the game, and then you have to price check all of them, because they could all be really good, but because they're all really good, everyone else also got 60 really good talismans. And so actually, you're only going to encounter 1 or 2 really good talismans, and they'll be worth more because there won't be a flood of them. I'm defending a nerf. Actually, you know what? I don't understand this nerf. Because it wasn't explained to me in 6 paragraphs. I'm gonna need a talisman manifesto so I can truly understand what this means as a nerf, and so that people will have tons of ways to misunderstand how this is better for them. And then they can send me threatening comments that I can turn into more t-shirts.
Every Path of Exile expansion needs new ways for players to slaughter their enemies. In Path of Exile Ultimatum, this takes the form of 4 new skill gems and 4 support gems. In line with Ultimatum's Val theme, these gems focus on blood. The idea is spending life rather than mana to use your skills. Alongside the new skill and support gems, we've also made some adjustments to the low life mechanic, including changing the low life threshold to 50%. This makes it much easier and safer to stay on low life for builds where it matters. Typically, when players create low life builds, they rely on Energy Shield to protect themselves against incoming damage. The new skill Petrified Blood enables low life builds to instead use some of their life.
I know my strengths, and this isn't one of them. You should go watch for like opinions on skill gems, someone who actually knows what the fuck they're talking about. Like I cannot provide anything apart from looking at them and being like, oh, I don't know how to use that, or oh, that looks fun. I mean, there was one thing I saw so far in like the trailer and stuff, which looked like just blood arc.
In addition to a strong physical damage hit, it also applies a physical damage over time debuff, which can stack up to 3 times. You can also support Exsanguinate so that its tendrils chain from one target.
Now we can play Carry On in PoE. If you haven't played Carry On, you should go do it, because it's fun, but it's kind of weird because there's no minimap, and I got lost a fuck ton of times, and there was a guy who was a speedrun over it in my chat while I was playing it, and he was ridiculing everything I did because I'm an idiot. But Carry On in PoE.
To the next.
Or Gish. Gish is good.
Reap conjures a giant bloody scythe that swings across a selected area, applying strong hit damage and physical damage.
Chris nearly sounded Australian just then.
Support
or British.
So that its tendrils chain from one target to the next. Reap conjures a giant
bloody scythe! Sorry.
Swings across a selected area, applying strong hit damage and physical damage over time.
What am I doing? Why am I watching this? I don't know anything about skill gems. Okay, skip.
This gem adds a percentage of your life as physical weapon damage while you're on low life, letting low life attack-based builds really scale their damage, which wasn't an option before.
Okay.
Alongside a Val-themed expansion and blood-themed gems, it felt right to take the opportunity to improve Val skills, which are supercharged versions of regular gems that charge up with the souls of your slain enemies to deal huge bursts of damage. One of the main improvements is that you now get far more souls for Val skills from damaging unique enemies, so your Val skills will recharge faster against bosses. We've also improved the Atziri's Reign unique jewel. Alongside increasing the duration of your Val skills, it also grants a chance to regain all consumed souls. Val skills have also received a balance pass that you can check out in the full Path of Exile Ultimatum patch notes in a few days.
Cool. Oh. Well, no, I didn't click it. I didn't mean to click it. I tried to pause it, please. I don't want to. Okay. That was cool, I guess. Oh yeah, there's like a... There's a thing, there's a page where they go, here's the new things, here's the new, this stuff. Right? That's everything we just saw. Cool. Yep. It's all the same stuff except in picture form. Double or nothing, aka always double, and like if you're a softcore player, just keep doubling until you fail, and then just figure out your limit of your time that you're playing then. Right. He's got a hand on his chest. Weird. Chaos God. Chaos Sex. It doesn't say sex, it's just another S. S-E-S-E-S-E-S-E-S-E-S. Ses. Or Zez? Zez. Sexy. Zexy Chaos God. Saw those. Yep. Shit you're never gonna see because they rare as fuck. Here's all the skills that I skipped. That's the Arc one. Stuff I have nothing about. Know nothing about. Yep. Ooh, cool. Whoa, whoa, yeah. That's the amulet Chris told us about. Energy shield amulet. We keep going. Reward improvements. Oh. Yeah. 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 This is cool. It just keeps going. Circuit trailer. Probably should have done it in this order, shouldn't I? Buy your supporter packs if you want to. One thing. One critical feedback to any GGG people that are watching this. This is the wrong 2. This is an obvious glaring typo issue. It needs to be fixed before League launch. No, I got nothing. This is who am I to tell you how to make stuff? I mean, I'm just gonna play the game because that's what I do. Did you reuse models, 3D models of the 4-socket resonators? Okay. Yeah. Maybe keep an eye out for another extended discussion of League and balances and stuff if I can find more people to talk to about it. Yep, that's everything. Put this bitch up unedited! Is there anything I have to edit out? Oh, I don't remember. Oh, there probably was. Ah, fuck that. Oh, you wanted it. This is for that one person that wanted a reaction thing. Fuck you. Okay. See ya. Oh, I have to edit out my stomach grumbles. Or edit in. Edit out. I'm gonna edit out. Fuck it.